What is up, everyone? It is Hit. We are making a little compilation here of, is Vorkath worth it today, or should you seek out other options? Now, I'm not going to act like I'm a professional at this game or I'm a longtime veteran, even though I have been playing for a while. Still, I think I can have an honest opinion on if this is worth it or not, just based off of my experience on the game. I do want this to be a short video, so let's go over one thing that's important. How much are you willing to spend to fight this boss? Basically, this is all I'm using in this boss, and you don't exactly have to use all this. I'm essentially using about 200 mil in gear and about 111,000 in supplies. A great website to use is Gearscape, and I mention this because you can actually put the value of your gear in, and that will actually determine what the best setup is for that price. You also have the option to exclude some items, so we'll include some high level stuff sometimes. So let me reiterate again, I'm mentioning this because how much you're going to be making from this really depends on how much you're going to spend and profit an hour. Now let me pause this video and then we're going to zoom in on the Vorkath kills. You'll notice that the superior dragon bones and the dragon bolts are actually your main source of big ticket profits. I'm going to use my 190 kills that I'm working up to 1,000 because I'm going to be making a video. I've spent 1 million in super anti-fires, 175,000 in venom, prayer 485,000, and super combat was 1.4 mil. If you add that all together, subtract it from 29 mil that I made, you would get 26 mil in profit. This added with food would just be minus 500,000. This was also over a couple days, but the exact hour was about, I would say, 10 hours, around that. Not exactly, it's a little bit lower, but evenly 10 hours, it was about 2.77 mil per hour. And I'm not even in max gear, but still I have pretty high level gear. But for a little bit lower level, I would say anywhere from 1 mil to 1.5 mil you can make hourly here. And I mention that because a lot of my kills were actually back when I was using Void Range on Vorkath. I just recently started getting a bunch of kills, so I can say confidently that I was about making a mil per hour back then. Now let me show you something a little bit crazy that I want to take into example here. Let's step away from the money dragon into corrupted gauntlet. As you can see, out of my 934 runs, I've made about 828 million. And I only mention this because this option takes no supplies. And basically, if you've done Dragon Slayer 2, I'd say you're already foresaw the elves to get to the Corrupted Gauntlet. The only issue with Corrupted Gauntlet is the hourly rate can be much lower. 600,000 to a mil is basically what I was getting, but what really exceeds it is the big ticket items. And if you are okay with gambling those odds like I did, then you can make a substantial amount of money here, as you can see by my example. All in all, comparing these two, probably not the answer you're looking for, but I would do both of them. Don't focus on just one boss for money. Do a little bit of Corrupted Gauntlet, do a little bit of Vorkath, maybe do Zulrah. The thing is, doing one single boss constantly isn't always the play, especially when other bosses have such big ticket items like the enhanced crystal that can be up to 150 mil. I think it's worth splitting it between a bunch of bosses and focusing on one. So is Vorkath really worth just farming alone? I would say a little bit, but really think about it at your level if your hourly rate is really worth the supply cost you're using. And if it isn't that great, try thinking of other bosses or other money methods you can squeeze in to the boss grind to just make you more money. For me, I was doing Slayer and bossing, So sometimes the Slayer task could actually cover the boss supplies, so it just made it easier. Anyways, there's a lot of things to take into account. I would say Vorkath is a little bit worth it. I would say it's really worth it if you're combining it with other things. And I would say it's really worth it if you are just a higher level and easily can kill it with no supply drain. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. Kind of my first RuneScape video, and I'll see you guys later.